Yes.
Bracket number 2, Nicole.
Yes.
Housing
waiting?
Wire.
I thought maybe you're
No,
waiting for me. You're waiting for me,
no.
taking a few
I'm
breaths,
waiting.
taking a few breaths,
I'm
trying to
not.
find your article there. Would you lose yourself
Yeah,
again?
I lost myself again. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Bracket number 2, Housing Wire. Homeowners gain 8.2 trillion in housing wealth over 10 years. So nearly 980,000, almost a million middle income households become homeowners from 2010 to 2020. Those middle income households, Nicole, gained 2.1 trillion in housing wealth. This is according to National Association of Realtors' recent study. NAR's
Mm-hmm.
housing wealth gains for the rising middle class markets study examined the distribution of housing wealth between 2010 and 2020 across income groups in 917 metropolitan and micropolitan areas. So the vast majority of this $8.2 trillion housing wealth, 71% generated during this time period, belonged to high income households, while only 4% or 296 billion was from low income households.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why do you think there's such a big gap between the high income households getting this, the majority of this 8.2 trillion housing wealth over the last 10 years, 71%, and the low income households?
Well, I mean, I think we always talk about it, right? What's like the number one rule in real estate?
Yeah, you nailed it.
I mean, it's
Location.
location, location, location. So, obviously, location will always trump anything else for sure. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what's happening here is these areas are just becoming even more desirable, which inevitably makes them worth a lot more money.
I learned it the hard way. The first house I ever bought during the mortgage crisis, still today, Nicole, because the location is so bad, isn't worth what I paid for it in
Yeah.
2004. I overpaid and all that kind of stuff, made a bunch of mistakes. But that being said, it's still not worth what I paid for today. That's pathetic.
I
It
know.
comes down to the location getting worse, the location not being desirable, people not improving the surrounding location, that city not, doing anything about they have a huge tax issue in that city. Um, and so when you buy in a great location, you will find that your wealth can multiply a lot faster. Your
For
wealth
sure.
over a 10-year period, 8.2 trillion, is going to gravitate towards those great locations.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only buying personally in really good locations. Anytime I talk to somebody as a real estate professional who's thinking about buying, hey, what's your opinion on buying? Love the location, number one.
Yeah.
They don't talk about location here. They do talk about specific locations, but they don't talk about location being the driving factor. They're talking about more of this high income, middle income,
Yeah.
lower income households and who's getting the wealth. Well, the higher income households are buying the higher price tag real estate, which is in the better location, and more people want to be there. And
Yep.
that's what's driving it.
Right.
So not a surprise that 8.2 trillion has been accumulated over the last 10 years in housing wealth, but it's like Bitcoin. It could be 4 trillion like
Yeah,
that.
well, and hopefully this shit ain't happening in California either because you're going to be taxed 25% on that now too. So
No, California's gotten some big gains
20,
recently.
20 after 3 years it's going to be 20%. My bad. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to sell in California, the state wants some of that, but
Mm.
no, I mean, California's gotten some gains, and they go through, and if you want to open up this is a non-paywall Housing Wire article, so we'll link it
I
up
mine's on
here on
mine's on
YouTube.
through I'm on Real Trends.
Well, Real
This
Trends and
link?
Housing Wire are connected, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so that's why I'm able to open it because I'm not on Housing Wire because usually I
Yeah, Housing
can't.
Wire
Yeah.
owns Real Trends.
Yeah. See, we're learning something today.
You are.
Always. Every day. Get better every day.
Nicole, if you bought a house 5 years ago, you would have accumulated $146,200 in housing wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So
I bought a house 6 years ago.
some people, have gained more than that. I mean, great locations. I'm
Oh,
thinking
people have,
about
but people.
I'm
Well, I'm
thinking
thinking.
about both my Connecticut house and my
Yeah.
Naples, Florida house. Both of
Yeah.
them gained more than that
In
in
a
the last 2
year.
years alone.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was gonna say most people, I mean,
Yeah.
there are plenty of people that I'm helping to move that they just moved here. They moved from the city and now they're selling 2 years later and they're, we're listing well over $100,000 over what they bought it for. And again, we're talking 18 months, 20 months, if that. Yeah.
So you can accelerate your wealth gained from your home, from housing, if you pick the right location in the town. I think about that
Yeah.
Connecticut house that I'm talking about, Nicole. That is the best square mile in the entire town where I bought
Yeah.
in. So
Right.
that's why it accumulated so much faster. Same thing with where I bought in Naples, Florida. It accumulated really fast because I'm in a premier location of
Well,
a
and
a
the
big town.
Well, the thing about that location though too is it's always been a premier location.
Yeah,
So, I mean, it was obviously naturally growing, but at the rate obviously was much quicker. So,
absolutely.
congratulations to you. Look at you.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. Well,
Yeah,
it's only means something if you sell it,
only if you sell it. Right.
which we I mean,
Only
we
if you
are
sell it.
you're doing some renovating for me over in
We're doing a little bit of
Connecticut.
renovating. Yeah.
It might
Uh-oh.
give me the itch.
Is that what's happening? I mean, if I knew you were selling it, maybe I wouldn't be charging that credit card so much.
Really?
I don't know.
You'd be making different decisions?
Maybe. I don't know. There's some good decisions happening in there. But
Well,
anyway.
once it's all done, it might give me the itch. Every time something's done and like, one little kid could just scratch a wall, then it's like, "Oh, maybe we should just
Well,
sell it now," you know?
luckily it's in the master, so just keep the kid out. Keep the kids out.
Yeah. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this short clip from the real world, click here for another one.
Or if you like the full episode, click here.